All right, so we're going to continue on with looking at expressions. And right now what we're really going to be focusing on is we are going to be looking to circle the expression that is not equivalent. So it's kind of a little bit backwards. Normally you would think, oh, I'm going to cross off something that's not correct. We want to leave the ones that are correct and circle the ones that are incorrect. So on number 1A, it says 16 times 29. So what I want to do is I want to take a look here, and I'm looking at these four written expressions, and there are some that are incorrect and then there's some that are correct. And we do want to keep the ones that are correct alone. The ones that are incorrect, we are going to circle them, okay? I'm not going to tell you how many. There could be, all of them could be wrong, all of them could be right, one could be wrong, three could be right. It doesn't matter. So we just need to make sure that we talk through all of these. So looking here, we have 29 16ths. Well, I would agree, because if I were to write this out, I would think to myself, this is 29 times 16. And 29 times 16 is the same as saying 16 times 29. So we're going to leave that one alone. If I come over here, 16 times 30 minus 1. Well, what is 30 minus 1? Well, that's going to be 29. So 16 times 29, well, that's the same one. That's the same. It's an equivalent expression. Over here, I have 15 minus 1 times 29. That's going to give me 14. So 14 times 29, is that going to be equivalent? No, it's not. So I'm going to go ahead and circle it. Okay. Over here, oh my goodness, let's see here. I've got 10 times 29. That's going to give me 290. And I'm going to subtract, oh my goodness, 6 times 29. Let's see here. 29 times 6. So I can do it. That's going to be, oh, sorry, I did that backwards. 54. So the 4 is going to go here. The 5 is going to go up here. 6 times 2 is 12. 17. It's going to give me 174. I'm going to kind of look at this, and I'm probably going to say that that one is not correct, because even looking at the math, it's going to be a pretty small number. And if I come over here and if I do my rounding that I know, I could basically say this is going to be 20 times 30, and 20 times 30 is going to give me 600. That's not going to give me 600. So I'm going to go ahead and circle this and say that that one is not going to be equal. Okay, or equivalent, sorry. So looking at letter B, I've got 38 times 45. Let's see here, 38 times 45. So if I come here, these two are adding these together, and then I'm multiplying them. So let's see here, 38 plus 40, that's going to give me 78 times 38 plus 5 is going to give me 43. That's not going to be equivalent, so I'm going to go ahead and circle that one. Okay, so let's look here. I've got 38 times 40 plus 38 times 5. So 38 times 40. Oh, what if I do this? Look at that, 38 and 38 and 40 times 5. So it almost looks like what they did here was they took this 45 and split it into 40 and then 5. So that I multiplied 38 times 40, and then I added 38 times 5. So that one's going to be equal. And the reason is because they separated that 40 and that 5 out. Instead of multiplying it by 45, they did 40 and 5. So that one is going to be equivalent. This one's going to be 45 times, what's 40 plus 2 is going to give me 42. So 45 times 42, that one's not going to be it. 45 38ths, well, that is 45 times 38, so that one is going to be equivalent. All right, 74 times 59. So here's 74 times 50 plus 9. Well, I know 50 plus 9 is going to give me 59, so here is 74 times 59, so that one is correct. Let's look here, 74 times 60 minus 1. 60 minus 1 is 59, so 74 times 59, that one's correct as well. Let's look here. Well, they have 74 times 5 plus 74 times 9. It looks like what they did here was they tried to separate 59, and they separated it into a 5 and a 9. This technically, if I was going to separate it out like we did up on this problem, what should this 5 have been? That 5 should actually be 50, right? So this one is actually not going to be correct because when they separated it out, they didn't separate it out as 50 and 9. They just did 5 and 9. And then this one is 59 74s, 59 74s. That one is correct. So that was the only one that was not going to be equivalent in that problem. Okay. So this next one, it says that we want to solve using mental math, and we're going to draw a tape diagram to fill in the blanks to show our thinking. And the first one is partially done for us, so we kind of need to fill this in. So this says 19 times 25 is going to give me how many 25s? Okay, or how many 25s can I show? Well, it's going to show me 19 25s. Okay, so we've already got this one done, but I want to think 20 25s. So here's 20 25s, because that's going to help me if I wanted to round this 19 up to 20 to figure out my answer. That's what I'm doing. So basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out what is an easy way for me to solve this. So because I can round 19 25s up to 20, that's why they added this 20 here. So underneath here, it actually already tells you what you need to do. You've got 20 25s, and I'm going to subtract 1 25. Okay, because 19 times 25, that's not really all that easy to multiply. But 20 times 25, that is pretty simple and easy to multiply. So 20 times 25, so 25 times 2 is going to give me 50, and I have 50 tens, so it's going to be 500. And I'm going to subtract, what is 1 times 25? Well, that's 25. 500 minus 25, doing our math. If you need to write it out, you can. But that answer is actually 475. So what we're doing is up here, we are saying what we have. We're writing then our mental math that we want to do to help us solve it, and this is going to help us solve it to come down here instead of writing 19 times 25. Okay, this will make sense. We're going to do a couple more. So this says 24 times 11. So I have 11 24s. So if I were to come here and draw this bar diagram, and remember I've got 24, 24, 24. I don't want to keep writing. I don't want to write 11 24s. I am going to do 24, and I'm actually going to say, so this is actually supposed to be 11. But what I want to do is to be able to multiply this nicely, I'm actually going to take this 10 or this 11, and I want to turn it into a 10. So I have 24 24s, or sorry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to round it down to 10. So instead of 11, now I'm only going to have 10, and I'm going to add this 124 that's kind of off to the side. I'm sorry, I shouldn't put 24. I should put 124, guys. I am very sorry. Okay, now I have something that is easy for me to multiply. So 10 times 24 and 1 times 24. Do you kind of see how I did this? Is that I'm rounding this to use mental math to figure out an easier number to multiply, and 10 is a lot easier than 11, and it just kind of follows my rounding rule. So now I've got 10 times 24 is going to give me 240. And I'm going to add that 124 that I kind of separated out. And so if I add these all together, you can, of course, add it down here if you need to. But if mentally you could see it, that it equals 264, that is how you can solve it. So just kind of remember, up here, we're saying how many 25s or 24s we have. And I'm taking this number and I'm finding a nice number to multiply it by. And when I mean nice number, I'm really looking for that 10. I don't know if they'll go up to hundreds or anything like that, but it's that 10 or 20 or 30 or 40. It's that power of 10 is what we are wanting to look for.